Palestinian man came into town, was stopped and blew himself up outside this building, the target of several previous suicide attacks. And this is the bomber, performing for his farewell video, released by the armed group Islamic Jihad, which hasn't signed up to January's shaky ceasefire.
The Palestinian Authority has promised to...
The article. And to this point, what do you think? Good, bad, ugly, sweet,
I think they've done everything they can to try and just remind people that Israel put in like a barrier to stop people getting through, and just every yeah, there's terrible things happening in Israel, but listen to this is happening as well on the Palestinian side.
Right. Could be. Try to like put a little bit of sympathy in there. Yeah. Was it a bad video? Was it sort of the video you expect after a suicide bombing?
It showed that there was chaos there, and it showed that it's not that Israel is letting people in, it's that they are doing something about it and unfortunately some people can get through.
Right. What did you think of Mark Regev, the guy who was giving the Israeli view? Because there was something that bothered me about what he said. Does BBC think it's fair that Israel expects so much of Mahmoud Abbas? Understand the question?
No.
They also say that now in the time of the elections, that he's under a lot of pressure and that we should
it's just not fair.
Put it all on top of him. Like
right.
It's too much for him. Should not.
How dare Israel expect the president of another country, it's not a country at this stage, authority, another people, to have to take action against his own people when in fact he's trying to run an election campaign here against Hamas. Come on, Israel, give the guy a chance. Let the guy breathe. Alright? What did the guys here conclude would be the result of Israel restarting its targeted killings? You understood they're talking about our assassination policy. What would that be called in their opinion? It was a word beginning with E that they used, which is wrong, or inaccurate, or misleading. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, they basically pointed out that it's going to push them farther away from Mahmoud Abbas every minute.
Right. So if Israel defends itself, this will just make it even harder for the Palestinians and for Mahmoud Abbas, who's moderate, apparently. Okay? What they did say was that should Israel respond to this attack, this response would be an escalation. What? So Israel defending itself with an escalation, what exactly is a suicide bombing than the Tanya War? Then?
By that doesn't mean that Israel's exaggerating. Right.
When they say escalation, they mean like it would even be turning up the volume of fire and blood and war even more
than it needs to be.
Right. The other thing they said is they said that Islamic Jihad, they've said this also in this other BBC clip I showed you a few months ago, that Islamic Jihad has said it will respond to Israel if its leaders are targeted with activists. You know, people who carry flags and signs, no more student fees, that's activists, okay? At least where we come from in the Western world. And they're saying Islamic Jihad said they're going to carry out attacks like this if Israel does those kinds of attacks. What's the problem with that? If Israel carries out assassinations, what's the problem? But what is the problem with the statement that they're basically trying to excuse it? They're trying to say, well, Islamic Jihad warned. If Israel carries out attacks, we will respond. But in fact, as Israel's always said, you know, there's a funny statement. You probably heard it. If Israel puts down, if the Palestinians put down their guns, there'll be peace. If Israel puts down their guns, there'll be no Israel. Okay? And I know that sounds brainwashy and stupid, although you did choose to be on Bnei Akiva. So, you know, that's the truth. Okay? And for the BBC to twist it around and say, because Israel assassinates terrorists, that's why there's terror, it's the other way around. There's terror, and therefore we have to defend ourselves. Okay? Now, and we're going to have a look at it. Okay? This is a similar thing which has also appeared recently in British newspapers. Not so much in American newspapers, but British. Widely across Europe, these kinds of articles that say, in essence, Why, Israel, do you do to the Palestinians what the Nazis did to you? And this is kind of what this guy starts to say. And he starts to say about Gaza is just another Warsaw ghetto. Okay? So we're going to read it.